My name is Anupam. I'm 29 years old and I live in Brooklyn, New York. I'm a resident physician specialized in pediatrics, and I'm about 8 months into a program that's 3 years long. I was born in Bangladesh and spent several of my childhood years in Japan and Canada. I started my undergraduate career at the University of Florida and eventually graduated from the University of Georgia in 2014 with a bachelor's degree in biochemistry and molecular biology. Then I started medical school at St. George's University in Grenada, West Indies, and I graduated and got my MD in 2019. So right now I'm located in Bay Ridge in Brooklyn. Living in New York is definitely not cheap, but Bay Ridge is definitely one of the more cheaper places to live in New York. My current yearly salary right now is about $63,000, and it comes out to around $3,700 per month after taxes. In terms of monthly spendings, my rent is about $1,800 a month. Utilities, which includes gas, electric, and internet, comes out to around $100 every month. Dining and entertainment, I usually spend around $250. Groceries, it comes out to around $100, believe it or not. I also have a couple of media subscriptions that I pay for, which comes out to around $20. And then self-care and supplements also includes things like haircuts, that comes out to around $20. And also miscellaneous expenses, that comes out to around $100, which includes anywhere from like Uber, taking the subway, also buying stuff here and there from Amazon. So right now, rent definitely eats up more than half of my salary monthly. I live in a 1-bedroom, 1-bath apartment. Previously, when I was a student, I used to live in a 4-bedroom, sharing with roommates. But right now that I have a more of a steady income, it's definitely time to have my own place and live more comfortably. My apartment is fully renovated. As you walk in, you come into this very spacious living room. It's great for having people over. Over here, you have the dining room / the kitchen. The kitchen is spacious enough for one person, and you also have a fridge that's big enough for one person. Coming back to the living room, as I said, is very spacious. It's perfect for having a lot of people over, and it's very cozy as well. When you walk over to the window, you have a very nice view of the Verrazano Bridge that goes to Staten Island. Now, going into the bedroom, this is a 1-bedroom, 1-bath apartment. The bedroom is very spacious as well, perfect for 1 or 2 people. It has 2 windows that makes it nice and sunny. It also comes with 2 closets, more than enough space for one person, definitely. And then you have the bathroom. It's pretty decently sized, and it's fully renovated, nice and clean. It's perfect for one person. So I'm pretty well disciplined when it comes to eating out. The only time I really eat out is when I have good company or when I'm just going out with my coworkers after a nice hard day of work. Otherwise, I rarely ever just go out to eat or order food in just because I don't feel like cooking. Typically every week I try to save a certain amount of time to meal prep for the rest of the week. But when I do go out, I'm never really limiting myself or budgeting myself because of financial reasons. Also, because of my job, I often work long hours every day, as well as I'm also working every other weekend. So the opportunities to actually go out with my friends to have a night out is also less than what most people have. So typically I'll end up going out about 3 or 4 times every month. So I'm pretty content with how things are right now. I feel like my social life is pretty balanced, and I don't really feel like I'm missing out on anything. I do all my grocery shopping at Chinatown in Brooklyn, where you can get fresh vegetables, meats, and fishes almost every day. Most of these stores are locally owned, so they typically offer better prices than going to, let's say, Whole Foods or Trader Joe's. I would say my key to living cost effectively is knowing how to cook, as well as living close to a market that has cheap groceries. Also, I get about $1,000 every year stipend for meals at work, which is great for grabbing lunch or breakfast 2 or 3 times a week. So at the end of every month, I usually end up saving about $1,000, which I put into a high yield savings account. So I've only been working for about 8 months or so I haven't quite looked into 401ks or retirement plans, but it's definitely something that I'm going to be looking into in the near future. So my health, dental, and eye insurance is paid for by my employee benefits, so I usually only end up spending around $15 copay every few months. And I also have 0 credit card debt, which is great to not have that to worry about. Right now, I'm on an income-based payment plan, but because my income was $0 last year, my payment right now is also $0 monthly. I'm gonna have to start making actual payments starting next year, but I also expect my salary to go up to about $70,000, so I'm expecting everything to balance itself out. Living in New York, you can definitely go without having a car. I live pretty close to my work, so I don't have to really worry about paying for gas, insurance, tolls, or anything like that. I also have an electric scooter, which helps me get to work in about 8 minutes. Right now, I'm a resident pediatrician. My typical day at work really depends on the setting that I'm assigned every 2 weeks. When I'm working on the inpatient floor, I typically work from 6 a.m. to 8 p.m., but sometimes it can go as late as 10 p.m. depending on how many patients are admitted. The outpatient settings are usually better in terms of hours, usually from about 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. I also spend a couple weeks out of the year and weekends here and there covering the night float in the hospital, which is usually around 8 p.m. to 10 a.m. After residency is over, I'm thinking about doing a fellowship, which is basically another 3 years of residency, but it's more specialized. Right now, I'm leaning towards maybe pediatrics, gastroenterology, or infectious disease. Typically after a fellowship, your salary will usually triple. In the more distant future, my biggest interest is in global health, so I'm definitely hoping to go on a lot of medical mission trips every year, as well as having my own practice. Traveling is definitely my most favorite hobby. When I was in medical school, I traveled a lot, but now that I'm working and I only get about 4 vacation weeks a year, it's been more difficult to travel, but I do try to travel at least once a year. I'll typically save about $1,000 throughout the year towards travel, but my actual travel expenses are actually a lot less than that. Usually only comes out to about $500 thanks to credit card rewards and hostels. Also, this money that I save towards travel usually comes from side hustles here and there, so it's not actually included in part of my salary. Otherwise, besides travel, I like to go around and explore new restaurants and try unique and unusual foods from other countries, but I also like to keep it simple and go to sports bars with my friends and watch football. I'm definitely not planning on settling down in the city. I prefer more of a calmer, more suburban area to settle down in. My short-term financial goals are pretty simple. Right now, I'm just trying to save up my 6 months of emergency fund. And after that, I'm planning on saving up towards having a family and eventually buying a car after residency is over. Obviously, the next 10 years are going to be dedicated towards paying off my student loans, and I'm hoping that a lot of it will be forgiven by working for nonprofit hospitals. And after that's taken care of, I can finally start working towards building my dream house and living a comfortable life with my family. I'm not all that materialistic, so I don't care too much about driving an expensive car or owning a boat or something like that. I'd much rather save up, retire early, and travel around the world.
Thank you for watching this video all the way to the end. I hope you found it useful and insightful in some way. Don't forget to subscribe and like the video, and if you have any thoughts about it, leave a quick little comment down below. I'd love to hear it. I respond to every comment, So I'd love to get a conversation started with you. Remember, your support is what keeps this channel going, so I appreciate each and every one of you supporting this channel. And I'm looking forward to continuing our relationship many months and years into the future.